Anilin, pwede ka nang mag-start.
Meron na po. May nakikita na po kayo?
Oo, nakikita na namin.
Yan na po. So, hi grade 9 students. Do you hear me now, class? And I hope you're in comfortable place. And class, please raise your hands or open your mic if you want to speak. So, okay. So, Mr. Einstein, can you lead the prayer? Okay, thank you. So now, good evening, class. Please, class, allow me to introduce myself. I'm Annalyn Ibehel, and you can call me Teacher Annie. And I will be your English teacher for tonight. So now, listen, class, and please raise your hand and say present as I call your name. So, Mr. Einstein, Socrates, Aristotle, Arthur. Okay, very good, class. No absent for today. So, before we proceed for new lesson, class, let's have a recap. So, class, what was our lesson last meeting? Okay, very good. As you remember, class, our topic last meeting is about rules in life. And what is rules in life, class? Yes, Mr. Arthur? Yes, that's right. Okay, then, let's proceed. So, class, I have here a picture, this, and you will arrange the jumble letters so you will know the answer. And can you guess it now, class? Yes, very good, class. It's a life cycle. And this picture is related to our lesson, and it tells about the stage of life from birth to death and of a human. So next, here's the objective of our lesson. Anyone can read our objectives? Yes, Mr. Einstein. Okay, thank you. So, our topic for today, class, is entitled The Seven Age of Man by William Shakespeare under the figures of speech. So, class, I will give you 5 minutes to read the poem. Okay, now are you done reading? Okay, let's discuss the poem. What is the title of the poem, class? Yes, very good. The Seven Age of Man. And who can give me the seven age of man according to the poem? Yes, Mr. Arthur. Yes, that's right. The seven age of man according to the poem are infant, schoolboy, lover, the soldier, the justice, pantalon, or the old age and facing imminent death. So, based on the poem that we read, what are the figures of speech used on the poem? Yes, that's right. Correct, Mr. Socrates. First is rhyme. So here are the figures of speech that used in the poem. First, we have rhyme, onomatopoeia, alliteration, assonance, and consonance. But first, let's define rhyme. Remember, class, that rhyme is a part that we mean when we say poetry is musical. When the ending sounds of words are repeated, we call it rhyme. Rhyming words do not appear only at the end of lines, or it called end rhyme in poems, but they may appear within the line or internal rhyme. Remember, class, that we have two kinds of rhyme, the end rhyme and the internal rhyme. And class, I will give you example of rhyme with line or called internal rhyme. So, the rhyme within the line or called internal rhyme is the example of the crows in bows throws endless bros. And then the rhyme at the end of line or called end rhyme example is I think I shall never see a poem lovely as a tree. The rhyme is see and tree. Now class, give me an example of internal rhyme and end rhyme on the poem. Yes, very good, Mr. Einstein. The examples of internal rhyme on the poem are and all the men and women are merely players. And then the end rhyme is, and then the winning schoolboy with his satchel and shining morning face, creeping like a snail. So let's move forward. More forward, class. Kindly read the definition of onomatopoeia and its example on the screen. Okay. So, class, mewing is sounds of meow or a cat. Puking is like a cry of baby. So mewling and puking in the poem is like a crying baby that needs something. Okay. The next is alliteration. The repetition of consonant sounds at the beginning of the words, like doubting, dreaming, dreams no mortal enter, dared to dream before. The example of alliteration can be found in the line 22. Example, turning again toward childish triple fives. Next is assonance. The repetition of vowel sounds within the words. Examples, along the window sill, the lipstick stubs glittered in their steel shields. Example of assonance in the poem can be found in first line class. And all the men and women are merely prayers. So here is consonants. The repetition of consonant sounds within and at the end of words. Example of these are some late visitor entreating entrance at my chamber door. Example of consonants on the poem is shining morning face creeping like a snail. So, class, have you understand our discussion? Okay. Now, in a group of activity, you will form a group members per group. Ay, 6 members per group. So, you will answer task number 1, entitled On Using Expressions Appropriate Situations. Class, remember that read the poem once more to answer these questions. Number 1 question is, do you agree with Persona's description of the last age of man in the last 2 lines of the poem? And why? Number 2 is, do you agree when he says that the last stage is second childhood without everything, and prove your point? Class, I will give you 5 minutes, and after that, we will present your work. So are you done now, class? Now, let's start for group number 1. Okay, very good, group number 1. And group number 2? Yes, very good, group 2. Group 3? Yes, very good, group 3. So, all of you class has amazing answer. And now, Let's have an activity. So choose the letter of the correct answer. So number one, the poem or the Seven Age of Man is written by A. William Einstein, B. William Shan, C. William Shakespeare, D. Albert Hall. Number two, and number three, class. The poet confers entrance and exits to A. Life and death, B. Birth and death, C. Play and death, D. Die and death. Number four, the third stage of life of teenager described as A. Lover, B. Schoolboy, C. Coolman, D. Seaman. Number five is the poem is about A. Stage of man, B. A world, C. Story, or D. A fairy tale. Now put your pen down, and let's check your answer. Number one is C, number two is B, number three is B, number four is A, number five is A. Now, so who got a perfect score, class? Wow, all of you get a perfect score. Now I know that you listen carefully in our discussion. And class, I will give you an assignment and we will check it on next meeting. Kindly write or take a picture so you can answer this question. So if you're done, class, you can now leave the meeting and thank you for your cooperation and listening. See you next meeting, class. Bye.